class, let's go ahead and review this test, or I should say quiz. Um, Topic 6 review sheet. How many solutions does each system of equations have? Let's start with the first one. To figure this out, we have to go ahead and determine where they're going to meet. We already have one equaling y. We've got to make the other one equal y. So we're going to divide the second one by 5, all of the terms by 5. If I do this, 5y divided by 5 is y. Negative 15 divided by 5 will be negative 3x. And then negative 20 divided by 5 would be negative 4. Now this would equal 0. Now we have to turn it into Y-intercept form. So I'm going to have to take the x and the number, right, and move it to the other side so it will be in the same form. So I'm going to add 3x to this side, which means I will have to add 3x to this side. I'll also have to add 4 to this side to get rid of it, which means I would add 4 to this side. So now I can rewrite this one, right? Because all this is going to mean that I have y on one side now, and it has to equal 3x plus 4. All right, and now I see that I'm going to highlight this here. My slope is the same, and I also see that my y-intercept is the same. That means I have the same exact formula. So we're talking a line that goes right over itself. So in this case, my answer would have to be an infinite amount of solutions because of the same exact line. All right, number 2, solve each system by graphing, okay? This time, I'm going to take my first one here. I'm going to reform it by subtracting 1/3 x over here. I'll subtract it from this side. That'll turn this to y equals 1/3 x, or negative 1/3 x. And then we would have to add 7. But the second one's going to be a little more difficult. Not only do I have to turn it into y form, I'm going to have to reduce it. So first of all, I'd have to subtract 2x from this side, which means I subtract 2x from this side. And that's going to turn this to 6y equals negative 2x okay, plus 12. Now I've got to go ahead and make y equal, well, 1. So I'm going to divide everything by 6. Six y divided by 6 will give me y. Negative, sorry about that, negative 2x over 6 will be negative, well, 2 over 6 is the same as 1 over 3. And then 12 divided by 6, that's, let's see, well, that's 2. And now, once again, I'm going to use my highlighter. We see that they have the same slope of negative 1/3 x, but I also see that my y-intercept is different. So if I was to graph this one, and I'm just going to put some coordinates here. This one starts at 7, right? And it goes down 1 and over 3. So down 1 and over 1, 2, 3. Down 1 and over 1, 2, 3 again. So this line is going to look like this. All right, and now let's go to the next one. This one starts at 2. And since it has the same slope, it'll go down 1 and over 3, down 1 and over 3. And this slope, since it is identical to the other, and it crosses through Y at a different place, they will never touch each other. So when we solve this by graphing, we realize there will be no solutions because they will never intersect. No solutions. All right, let's go to number 3. Solve system by using substitution. Substitution means taking one of these and substituting for the other. Over here, we already know that y equals 1/2 x plus 4. So we already know what y is. I can take this here and then take x equals, excuse me, that's minus y, which is 1/2 x plus 4, and that has to equal 8. Now I simply solve for x. Well, I know x minus 1/2 x will give me 1/2 x. That's combining like terms. So now I have 1/2 x plus 4 is equal to 8. I also know that I can combine like terms on opposite side by doing the opposite. So I'll subtract 4 over here, which means I will subtract 4 over here. So now I have 1/2 x. It's going to be equal to 8 minus 4, which is 4. Now I can go ahead and multiply 1/2 by 2 over 1, the inverse. So I can isolate x, which means I have to multiply 4 by 2 over 1. And 4 times 2 is 8. So x is going to equal 8. Now I have to go ahead and solve. If x is 8, let's go ahead and plug this in here. 8 minus y equals 8. So let's see here. We've got, well, I'm going to have to take y and bring it to this side. So it'll be a positive y. And that's going to give me 8 is equal to 8 plus y. And then I'm going to have to get the 8 to this side so I can isolate y, which means I would, let's see, I want to make sure I'm doing this right. This was a negative. Yep, so I subtracted that. That gave me a 8 minus 1/2 x, so 8 minus 1/2 x, yep. Plus 4, and that's going to be, oh, well, I didn't see this y. I have to go in and make a correction here. Since y was 1/2 x plus 4, and this was all negative, then all of this is going to be multiplied to that negative number. I got to distribute that property. So, yes, this will be a negative 1/2, but this will also be a negative 4. So I'm going to have to redo this here. I'm glad I double checked my work. So this is going to be x minus 1/2 x. And then negative times a positive 4 will be negative 4. And that will equal 8. Okay? Because y equaled all of this, I have to take that negative and apply it to all of it. And now x minus 1/2 x would be 1/2 x. And then minus 4 equals 8. Now I have to add 4 to this side, which means I'll add 4 to this side. That's going to change things a little bit. Now I have 1/2 x is equal to 12. And when I multiply 2 over 1 to everything, I have to multiply 2 over 1 to this side. And 12 times 2 is 24, so x has got to be 24. Now let's go ahead and pop this in. If x is 24, to this bottom one, 24 minus y equals 8. I'm going to have to subtract. No, I got to bring y over here, so I'll be adding it. And that means I'll be subtracting negative 8 over here. So I'll be subtracting negative 8 over here. Um, 8 minus 8 is 0, so that leaves me y. And 24 minus 8, that equals 16. So y equals 16. With x equaling 24 and y equals 16, A has to be my answer. Okay? Let's go to number 4 now. Solve using elimination. If I'm solving using elimination, I've got to find numbers. These are both go into so I can eliminate it. I can multiply this top one to negative 2 if I want. That will allow me to go ahead and make this a negative 6. I could also multiply this bottom one by 3, and that would make this a negative 6d. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to multiply this one by 3. If I do, 3 times 6 is 18, so that's 18c. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6d. And 3 times 22, that's 66. And now this is gone. And now I can combine the top one and the bottom one. 3 plus 18, 18, 19, 20, 21c. 60 minus 60 is 0. So I have equals. And 18 plus 66, well, 8 plus 6 is 14. Carry the 1. 6 plus 1 is 7, plus 1 is 8. That gives me 84. Now I've got to divide 21c by 21 to get c by itself, which means I'll divide 84 by 21. And this is going to give me 4. So c is 4. Now I got to plug this in to one of the problems. I'm going to use the top one up here so I can find out what d is. If c is 4, then 3 times 4, that's 12. Okay. And let's see, plus 6d. We're still adding 6D here. And then equals 18. Okay. Now I can combine like terms on opposite sides, which means I'll subtract 12. It's going to leave me 6D is equal to 6. Now I got to divide by 6 to get D by itself, which means I'll divide this side by 6. 6 divided by 6 is 1, and 6D divided by 6 is D. So D has to equal 1. So C equals 4 right here, and D equals 1. So my answer has to be C. All right? All right. That's how we solve by elimination. Looks like we went over the review sheet pretty quickly. Hope that helped you figure out how you're going to prepare for the test. And really, it's a quiz because I'm going to be letting you use your books. So good luck tomorrow.